Batman has always had a Robin by his side in comic books since the dawn of time. Robin first appeared in Batman #1 during the 1940s and was introduced to draw a younger audience to Batman comics. And to put it lightly, the comic sales doubled. So today I'm going to go over the origins of all four Robins. I'm not including Stephanie Brown because she's not Robin in canon in the New 52. So that's the main canon I'm sticking to for this video. Okay, we're going to talk about Dick Grayson Robin first. Dick Grayson was born to John and Mary Grayson on a date that we don't know. As Dick grew up, he would join his parents in a circus troupe called the Flying Graysons, where they performed gymnastic acts that no one in the world could possibly achieve. And this was actually what served as the foundations for the death of Dick's parents. Many years later, when Dick was a bit older, he would witness a mobster named Tony Zuko failing to collect protection money from the circus owners. As a result, the circus would skim on the safety precautions. This unfortunately led to the death of Dick Grayson's parents. For the next few days after the funeral of his parents, Dick Grayson would go out onto the streets and be determined to find his parents' killer. However, instead of that, he would find Batman cleaning up the streets of Gotham. However, it turns out that Batman had actually been following the young boy, and Batman actually takes Dick Grayson in, and he also reveals that he is Bruce Wayne to Dick Grayson. After a few months of hellish training, Dick Grayson becomes the first Robin, and he did stay Robin for quite a few years. However, as most stories come to an end, so must Dick Grayson's time as Robin. After leaving Batman, Dick Grayson would take up the mantle of Nightwing and watch over the city of Bloodhaven, a small town in the Gotham area. Of course, he would occasionally return to aid the Bat family in whatever time they need. Okay, our next Robin is Jason Todd. Now, Jason Todd is my personal favourite Robin, though I do prefer him in his other alter ego. So, Jason Todd had quite a difficult upbringing, because his father was in and out of jail, and his mother frequently had problems with drug abuse. However, one day, Withers Todd, Jason's father, went to prison for the last time. He would die in jail, never to see his son again. And then later on, Jason would have to fend his mother off from other drug dealers that were after his father's debts. Sadly, Jason's mother would also die due to a drug overdose. Jason would then hit the streets, using the skills he actually learnt from his father, determined to make a living for himself. This got him badly beaten a few times. However, one day he woke up in a hospital under the care of a very lovely doctor. How does he repay this doctor, I hear you ask? He steals prescription drugs from her. However, when he jumps out the window and into the street, he comes face to face with Batman, and Batman himself is actually ready to take the kid to jail. However, that doesn't happen because Jason Todd becomes the next Robin after a few months of hellish training similar to Dick Grayson. So, Jason Todd is not like Dick Grayson. For one thing, Jason has quite a few outbursts of rage, mainly due to what happened to his parents. This rage problem got so difficult for Batman that he actually placed Jason on monitor duty one night, so Jason would stay in the Batcave and find details on crimes going on in the streets. However, during this time, Jason would find out that his mother was actually alive. He would fly out to meet up with his mum, finding that he was alive, and presumably he also reveals that he is Robin to his mother. And however, thanks to a death in the family, we find out that this is actually a setup, and Joker badly beats Jason with a crowbar and leaves him in a building rigged to explode. However, the main difference here is that Jason's mother actually does survive. She isn't in the explosion, because in A Death in the Family, Jason's mother, who was Dr. Sheila Haywood, actually did die. And Jason actually died that day. However, he was brought back to life by one of the most easiest ways to bring back a dead character in Batman comics. The Lazarus Pit. Yep, that's right, Jason was brought back to life by the League of Assassins. And he was also trained by Talia al Ghul. And he learned a lot more skills than Batman could have ever taught him. Okay, after Jason returns to Gotham, he is understandably pissed that Batman didn't kill the Joker. However, we covered that in another video, whether Batman should kill the Joker or not, so go check that out. Anyway, after Jason returns to Gotham, he's pissed that Bruce hasn't killed the Joker, and so he decides, I'm going to take out my own brand of justice on the crime in this city. And so Jason becomes the Red Hood, and this is actually a reference to the Joker's previous alter ego, because Joker was originally a guy named Jack, and he fell into a vat of chemicals as the Red Hood, and then he became the Joker. So Jason becomes the Red Hood. However, unlike the version that Joker was, Jason takes out harsher punishments on criminals in Gotham. And this is why he uses guns, because Batman isn't able to. So what happened to Jason after he left the Bat's shadow and became the Red Hood? Well, Jason actually has his own team called Red Hood and the Outlaws, and that's also the name of his corresponding comic book stories. Jason's team consists of himself, obviously, Roy Harper, who's going by Arsenal, and was ex-sidekick to Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, and also Starfire. Now, Starfire originally in Post-Crisis was part of the Teen Titans. However, in the New 52, she is the member of Red Hood and the Outlaws. Okay, now we're going to talk about the Tim Drake incarnation of Robin. Now, Tim Drake is different to the other Robins on this list because he doesn't exactly go by the name Robin when he is Robin. He actually goes by the name Red Robin, which is the name he takes up in the pre-New 52, and the name he takes up after leaving Batman's shadow. So Tim Drake actually has quite an interesting origin. His parents don't actually die, because he's a master acrobat, and he's the first out of all of Batman's sidekicks to be the most intelligent one. So, back to Tim's origins. He had a proud mother and a proud father. However, he always wanted to work with Batman. He did deduce that Bruce Wayne was Batman, that Dick Grayson was Nightwing in the post-Crisis continuity. However, recently Tim has decided to want to work with Batman. And after leaving a few clues for Tim, Batman sends him on his way. Tim decides, I want to get Batman's attention and work with him. So how do I do this? Do you want to know what Tim Drake did? He stole $100 million out of the Penguin's bank account. You don't want to piss off the Penguin, Tim Drake. And understandably, that doesn't go well because Penguin's men attack the Drake house. And Tim thought to himself, oh god, are my parents dead? Have I gotten my parents killed? Thankfully, no, and Batman also arrives to fight off Penguin's thugs. Now, what happened to Tim next was actually quite interesting. His parents had to go into the Witness Protection Program, and Tim himself went to stay at Wayne Manor. And that's when Tim became Robin, or Red Robin as he decided to go by. Tim decided to go by the name Red Robin as he thought it would be an insult to Jason Todd's memory, because Batman at the time was reluctant to hire a new sidekick because of Jason Todd's death. After leaving Batman's shadow, Tim Drake would take up the Red Robin mantle, get a suit that doesn't look half bad, and starts the rebooted Teen Titans. Of course, Superboy is in this, along with some other interesting characters. Okay, now we move on to Damian Wayne, and as his surname suggests, he is actually Bruce Wayne's son. Now, Damian Wayne's origins are quite simple, except that his mother is Talia al Ghul. Yep, that's right, Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul bumped uglies. And Talia didn't actually give birth naturally, she actually cloned Damian somehow. And he was actually the only version of Damian that was, well, perfect. Just a quick side note here, there is another clone of Damian called Leviathan, and he kills Damian in the Batmanic Death of Robin thing. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. Anyway, Talia decides, I want you to kill your father. Instead, Damian Wayne says, I'm not going to kill my father, I want to get to know him. I'm going to dress up in a Robin costume. And so, Damian Wayne becomes the fourth Robin in the New 52. Another quick side note, I know Stephanie Brown is Robin in Post-Crisis during that time. However, in New 52, Stephanie Brown as Robin is not canon. Sadly, Damian Wayne is the second Robin in the New 52 to sadly die. However, Damian didn't stay dead for long, as his and Talia al Ghul's bodies were stolen at the end of Batman Inc. Death of Robin. Yes, I know, yes, that's right, Talia al Ghul did die. Now, we don't know what actually happened to Talia's body, however, both Talia's body and Damian's body were stolen by the League of Assassins. Now, Ra's al Ghul's original plan was to actually erase Damian and Talia's minds of Bruce Wayne, that he ever existed, and that they would actually fight against Batman. However, the Justice League soon showed up and stopped the League of Assassins. However, Damian's corpse was taken by Glorious Godfrey, a servant of Darkseid. And during the events of Robin Rises, where Batman dons the hellest cool mech suit ever, yes, I just made that saying up, Robin is saved, and Batman is close to death. I explained that in the top 10 Batman armors video, but I'll do a quick recap. The Batman armor that Batman actually uses during the events of Robin Rises is the Hellbat suit. The only bad thing about it is that it uses Batman's metabolism to power it, so he could die if he wears it for too long. The Hellbat suit was actually created by the Justice League because they were concerned that Batman was the only normal human among them. And I have to say, good on the Justice League for coming up with that idea, except the metabolism idea was just a bunch of crap. Anyway, after injecting the Chaos Shard into Damian's body, the Hellbat suit is destroyed, and Damian Wayne comes back to life. However, there are a few side effects, and Damian demonstrates these side effects while beating the crap out of Calabac, Darkseid's actual son. Okay, so that was the origins of Robin, but we're not actually done yet, because there's actually a story that involves three of the Robins that I want to actually talk about here. So, I can't stop this video without talking about Battle for the Cowl. Now, we did actually cover Battle for the Cowl in Batman Gotham Legacy. You can check that out on the channel if you want to. And it's a really good storyline. Let me explain. So, in the events of Final Crisis, the storyline before Battle for the Cowl takes place, Batman actually dies. Yep, Gotham is Batmanless, and Gotham City falls into what can be described as hell actually freezing over. And a new Batman is taken to the streets and is inflicting harsh torture upon criminals. And nope, I'm not talking about my high school bullies. No, it's Jason Todd. He has taken up the mantle of Batman by force because Bruce Wayne couldn't bring himself to actually kill criminals, whereas Jason Todd has no problem with that whatsoever. So there are actually two Robins that try to take up the Batman mantle and fight Jason. The first one is Tim Drake, who at the time was Robin, and he actually puts a bounty on Bruce Wayne's head, not in the sense of Arkham Origins, but, well, Arkham Origins came out after this storyline, so. Anyway, to put it lightly, Tim Drake becoming Batman doesn't go exactly to plan. Tim Drake gets his ass kicked, and he ends up with a batarang in his stomach. And there's only one ideal replacement if Bruce Wayne were to ever die, and that man is Dick Grayson. Dick at the time was reluctant to take on the Batman mantle because he felt that he couldn't really fill Bruce Wayne's shoes as the Dark Knight. However, he eventually has to take up the Batman mantle because Jason Todd won't willingly give it up. And so, Dick Grayson becomes Batman until Bruce Wayne returns. And I'm not going to explain that, so I'll let Comic Storian explain that in his videos. Okay, so that was my video on the 4 origins of Robin and the 6th installment in Batman Week. I hope you guys have enjoyed what we're doing with this experiment, and Sunday's episode will be the last of Batman Week. I know, I'm sorry, but I've really enjoyed doing Batman Week for you guys, and it's taken me 2 days to make all the videos. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy. I'm not going to tell you what the next episode is, though.